Hi, Kathy Pecora with Atlanta Area Property Management. So today we're going to talk about raising rents. Well, we're getting to the time where every 60 days, every 90 days, we're sending out lease renewals and asking our tenants to please stay in the house. We'd love to have you for another full year. And what we are recommending to our owners this year is not to raise the rents. Now, in the past, we would raise them between 3 and 5% in just a general market to try and keep them up at market rates. In the hot market, we would raise them as much as 10%. But this year, because the rents are dropping so fast, so from last year, they've dropped already a couple of $100, and from last month, they've already dropped about $50. We have more homes on the market trying to rent them than we've ever had. So our recommendation to our owners is not to raise the rent. We're asking owners, leave the rents where they are, unless they're so low that it would be worth, even if the tenant moved out, getting a new tenant in there, fixing it up, doing all the things you have to do, market it, and then getting it at market rents. But if the rent is super low, then you do have to increase it. But if your rents are right at market, because the rents are starting to come down, where it is now and where it's going to be may be pretty close. So we're recommending leave them where they are. It's very expensive to move, and with the tenants having to pay so much money for gas, food, utilities, that financial obligation keeps rising. And if everything keeps rising, we're going to end up with tenants that are now moving out, moving in with the parents, moving in with siblings. They're just going to move because they can't afford to stay where they are. And on top of that, if they can't pay, you certainly don't want to go into an eviction environment, because then you have nobody paying any rent for your house for, it could be up to a year in some of our counties. Fulton County, Cobb County is not quite as bad, but they're there, DeKalb County. So they could be living in your house for a year, not paying any rent. So what we're recommending is just kind of stay put, don't raise the rents. The economy is very difficult for these people. 2 jobs, a lot of layoffs, as we're starting to hear on the market, and a lot of reduced hours. So keep your tenants in place by not raising the rent this year. Go for another 12 months, and let's see what happens next year when we have a new administration and maybe some work on the budget. It's the killer for us. So stay put.